All right. Welcome to the screening room in Like Flynn family. PJ and I are here live tonight to break down Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Gotta say, I really was not that excited for this movie because Marvel has been letting me down tremendously over Phase 4 and the beginning of Phase 5. So we didn't even get tickets for this movie until, earlier this week. And, I just gotta say, this movie blew me away. All right, we are back to normal Marvel form on this one. I think I don't want to say that this has righted the ship because I think that would be a little bit premature, but I do think that Marvel might be back on the right track. So PJ, what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty good. So it was not mind blowing cool, but it was pretty cool. There's a lot of action scenes. It's a tiny bit dark, a little bit more on the intense side. So if you have a child that's probably 7 or under, maybe you can't watch it. I would just say that.
All right, yeah. So let me dissect this a little bit. This was definitely one of the darkest Marvel movies. Now, we're going to start off, we're going to keep it in the beginning, we're going to keep it in the non-spoiler territory, all right? We're going to break down kind of what we liked about the movie, what we didn't like about the movie, and then we'll start later on, we'll kind of move into the spoiler territory. That way, if you want to kind of zone out, if you haven't seen the movie, totally understand. Thank you for all those who are joining us here tonight. We really appreciate it. And, okay, so as soon as the movie... Oh, you know what? Before I start, May the 4th be with you all, dude. Today is Star Wars Day, and I hope you all are having a blast just celebrating Star Wars, because I'm a big Star Wars fan. Unfortunately, PJ isn't a big Star Wars fan. He's only seen... you saw New Hope, and then you started watching Empire Strikes Back, but... Anyway, May the 4th be with you all. Now let's break down Guardians of the Galaxy. So, right out of the gate, right, we know that this is going to be a more ominous movie. Just that Marvel title screen that comes up, we just see nothing but Guardians of the Galaxy characters. We don't see any of the other Marvel characters, and we just have ominous music playing right from the beginning. And we dive right into Rocket's backstory and... basically the overarching villain of the whole movie. And from the get-go, it is a dark movie, like PJ said.
Yeah.
Now, your kids might have seen all the other Marvel movies, depending on whether your kids are good with movies that are a little bit more... I don't even want to say it was scary. It wasn't scary. It just... Yeah. It deals with more intense tones, basically. Let me get right... Animal torture. Obviously, we're going to see what happened to Rocket. And so, unfortunately, we do see a lot of this, animal torture, animal cruelty. Some of it's a little less dark because they're fictionalized. But there's some animals in this movie. We basically have a rabbit. There was a rabbit in the movie that got pretty messed up. There was, a funny walrus. Now, they try to lighten up with a little bit of humor. There was a good amount of comedy in the movie to try to lighten up the film a little bit. But definitely some darker overtones to the movie. So, one thing that I liked is that this felt like a fun Marvel movie, okay? It is a 2.5-hour movie. My one criticism is that I did feel like the movie went on a bit long.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they could have trimmed the fat in a bunch of different areas, and I felt like the movie did go on for a long period of time. And unfortunately, it wasn't one of those movies that felt like it flew by, like John Wick. This was a movie that definitely felt like every bit of 2.5 hours. I actually found myself looking at my watch a couple times, all right, how much longer is this movie going to be? Because I felt like some of the movie did draw on and could have been shortened up for sure. PJ, I know you were getting a little squirmish in the movie. What did you think of the length?
I was getting a little bit like squirmish because like I kind of had to go to the bathroom and
I told you to go more the movie, dude.
A little bit, so because it was very long. That's what I would just say. Just be prepared.
When you have seriously, dude, when you have a 2.5 hour movie on top of 30 minutes of previews, that kind of annoying because you have to plan to sit through that movie. But overall, it was a great movie. I think Marvel is back on track. This was by far the best movie that we've seen since Spider-Man No Way Home. That was our last probably like great Marvel movie. There was some Marvel movies in there that were kind of okay. There were some movies that were kind of garbage. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a great film. Is it a perfect film? No. But I hope it does get audiences fired back up for Guardians, or not for Guardians, because unfortunately the Guardians franchise is now over. This was the third and final film in the franchise, but we will see some of the characters in future films. We don't want to spoil. We're not going to go into spoilers just yet as to like who may still be alive, who might be dead. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Dad, comment time.
Oh, we got some comments. What are we doing? We got some questions. Sure, we could dive into a question too.
First, like from Outdoor Eagle, I seen the trailer for Return of the Jedi, and like today it looked like good.
Yeah, that's being re-released in theaters. I'm definitely going to be checking that out because I think Return of the Jedi is the only Star Wars film I have not seen in a theater. Not getting into my age, but I have seen all the re-releases, and I do believe that Return of the Jedi is the only film I have yet to see in a theater. So I will be seeing that.
And also,
but go ahead.
Nice shirts. Outdoor Eagle said nice shirts.
Thank you. I literally put on my ET shirt because I figured we're doing a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and it was filled with extraterrestrial beings. So why not? Okay, let's get back to Guardians real quick. Unless we have any other questions or anything.
We'll wait for the next chat.
All right. So, one of the other issues I had, besides the length, was the movie was definitely a little bloated, okay? With that being said, we were introduced to Adam Warlock, who got teased in the post-credit scene for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I did feel like they wasted his character. There was a lot of the movie, he wasn't even in. Some of the parts he was in, it was almost like he was a joke of a character. You could tell that he is a supreme being. He's extremely powerful. He has some fight scenes with the Guardians and kind of lays waste to most of them. But at the same time, he is shown basically in his infancy. It's revealed in the film that he was kind of hatched early by the main villain in the film to... actually, I said this is a spoiler. So basically, he's dispatched to kidnap Rocket. That's basically the whole point of the movie, is that the bad guy is trying to get a hold of Rocket.
And also, like, they cut in between to show, like, some of the story about Rocket, and then they go back to present day.
Yeah, basically the whole premise of the movie, we keep cutting back between present day and these flashbacks so we can see where Rocket kind of comes from and his backstory. And some of those are actually a little bit jarring because we have no, like, it just kind of jumps to his backstory for, like, no particular reason. Like, Rocket may not even be in that scene, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, here we are, we're back in his backstory, we're jumping back in the past. And, yeah, that was, like, a little bit jarring in some scenes make sense, where Rocket is in a situation where he is incapacitated, I'll put it that way, throughout a lot of the movie. So it makes sense when we cut to the backstory. But other than that, like, sometimes it's just extremely jarring. But it was cool. It was a very heartwarming backstory. Heartwarming and tragic. Because at the same time, you see why Rocket is the way he is. Why he is so... like, what's the word I'm looking for? Why he has such anger issues, why he's so vulnerable. And when you see his backstory, like, man, that's where the powerful emotion in the movie comes in, really, is with his backstory. It's really sad what happens to him in the movie, and it really is Rocket's movie. So going in, it's not a Star-Lord movie. It does deal with the whole situation with Star-Lord and Gamora and that blossoming possible future relationship. I'll leave it there. But then in terms of Adam Warlock, getting back to Adam Warlock, I think he's wasted in the movie. Where he ends up, like, okay, cool. We'll see where that goes. But I do think he was wasted in this film. It's almost like they threw him in just because he was teased in part 2, and they're like, all right, well, we got to do something with Adam Warlock. I know, PJ, you don't know a whole lot about Adam Warlock. Yeah. But the overall sense of Adam Warlock is he's this supreme being that was created, and he was basically hatched to dispatch and get rid of the Guardians and kidnap Rocket Raccoon and take him back to the bad guys. PJ, tell us about the bad guy a little bit.
So basically, the bad guy was trying. Apparently, he was trying to make he was trying to perfect the universe.
Yeah, like a perfect civilization.
Yeah, but I don't think he was trying to do that, and even Rocket knows that.
Yeah.
So basically, they think for the better good that they should eliminate all the Guardians except for Rocket, because Rocket's really smart, and he was the first one that was born, and he was smart.
Yeah. The bad guy is this dude, the High Evolutionary, who is probably one of the most... He's up there. The High Evolutionary, he's way up there. You will hate him in this movie. And the actor does an amazing job as the High Evolutionary. But yeah, his job is that he wants to create perfect civilizations with these perfect beings. And he will go to any length to get his hands on Rocket Raccoon, who basically is his greatest invention to a certain extent in terms of his intelligence. We know Rocket is very intelligent, and that plays into why...
Dad, should I do a spoiler or no?
Go ahead, man.
So basically, they destroy the whole universe just for Rocket. Don't you think?
So there is an entire planet that gets destroyed in the movie in his search for Rocket. Which, that's a big spoiler. We won't say which planet, but literally this dude pulls out we're going to destroy this entire planet to get our hands on Rocket. And he does. He's just blow it up, be done with it, bam. And dude just destroys an entire planet. It's sad. It's sad. But the great things about this movie, there were some really funny moments in this movie.
Yeah, there was because there was a lot of people that laughed, and probably the fans that we watched it with were laughing, and you were laughing. I know that. Yeah.
There was. Let's see. Great actor, not great character. Oh, I see your comment there, Devilish. Great actor, great character. Yep. I agree with you. Yes, he was a great actor.
Yeah.
I apologize if I misspoke. The character itself is, total douchebag territory. But the comedy, they do have some great comedic moments in the movie to kind of lighten up the really drastic and dramatic scenes, which are plenty in the movie. Christopher Pratt, he does good as Star-Lord. He did really well in the role. I feel like all the Guardians, pretty much over the last 3 films, have gotten to know their roles, and they've done really well. Mantis, in terms of comedy, the comedy between her and Drax, I think, is absolutely hysterical. Yeah. And then early on in the film, there was some cool stuff with Cosmo, too. The Russian dog that we got to see in the holiday special.
Yeah.
But Mantis is definitely the comedic relief in the movie, as you might expect. There was some lines in the movie, early on, it's implied that Star-Lord has a drinking problem. They kind of play up the fact that he's constantly drunk, and they're like, oh, he's drunk again, and then magically that just kind of goes nowhere, which was interesting. So that was kind of a little bit off. That was a little bit jarring, but that's minor.
Question.
Yeah, what's up? Got a question.
3. But
3 questions. All right, hit me.
This is a compliment, but I congrats on my 1K.
Congrats on 1,000. I'm kind of late. Yep. Thank you so much. That was definitely unexpected to hit 1,000 subscribers that quickly. With the 1,000 subscribers, it's kind of weird because I grew a lot of the subscribers through my shorts, which I love doing the shorts. I wish more people would actually tune into our regular content, our like live content and our long form content. But hey, I love every subscriber, no matter whether you like the shorts that I put together or the live stuff that we do. I am just so blessed and so grateful that we have an awesome following. We're just doing this for fun. Not trying to like get rich off of this, just a creative outlet for us to talk about movies and travel and stuff. So thank you so much.
We're not any gold diggers or anything.
We're not gold diggers. And all right, let's see. Did me and PJ say it? It was me, PJ, and Charlotte that went to go see the movie?
Yeah, I already answered that.
Okay, you were actually answering that.
No, these two.
Let's see. Could this movie be seen as a standalone, or would you need to see the other two to see this one? I've seen them, just wondering. Yes, you will have need to have seen the other Guardians of the Galaxy movies, just so you know the backstories of the characters, kind of where the movie picks up, why those characters are the way they are. To pick up on some of the jokes and stuff, you probably will have want to seen the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. There's some Easter eggs in there specifically regarding the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Like Cosmo.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know who Cosmo is because Cosmo got introduced in the Christmas special.
Yeah, exactly. So, for sure, you probably want to see the other Guardians movies. In terms of a favorite character, do you have a favorite character? I would say for me, oh, man.
Star-Lord. No, Drax.
You know what? Bautista, man, he did a great job as Drax. For someone like he's complained a lot about playing Drax and never wants to play Drax again, he did great as Drax. And there's a lot of comedy between him and Mantis in this movie. He did great. And Bradley Cooper, I gotta say, Bradley Cooper as Rocket did a fantastic job in the voice role. And you really felt emotional. Like, there was parts, I was tearing up in the movie.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, there was just parts that were so well done, especially with the backstory of Rocket. It's a very emotional film, and I would have to say Rocket was probably one of my favorite characters in this movie. But we also, like, Nebula was pretty cool. She had some new tech. Her arm was basically whatever she needed it to be. She had this cool new tech, so her replacement arm literally would do whatever. She could interface.
Knife.
Yeah, it would turn into a gun. It would turn into a sword. It would turn into like a USB interface that she could control a ship with. A little bit unrealistic because literally whenever they needed something magically, her arm could do it. So
she is a robot.
Yeah, there was some pretty gnarly. The fight scenes in the movie were awesome. Obviously, it's a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's got a great soundtrack. But, the fight scenes in the movie and some of the action scenes were out of this world. Classic Marvel fight scenes. So, very cool. Do we have any other comments or anything? So, go, Gadget Arm. Yeah, go, Gadget Arm. No. Is it worth watching all the Guardians? Yep. Absolutely watch all the Guardians. Okay, so I guess now...
Spoiler.
Yeah, now all right. We're kind of into it. So, I don't mind talking spoilers a little bit.
So if you don't want to have spoilers, probably leave now.
Yeah, because I'm kind of like dancing around. I want to talk about the movie, and I'm dancing around. I don't want to give anything away, but I said this was a spoiler chat, so we're going to go into spoiler territory now. So, basically, in a nutshell, what happens? A high evolutionary wants to get his hands on Rocket Raccoon because Rocket has this ability to, come up with these wonderful ideas and inventions, and the high evolutionary doesn't know why, because he doesn't possess that knowledge, and he wants to know why Rocket has this knowledge that he does not have. So he is envious of Rocket and does not understand why all of his other creations do not have the same intelligence as Rocket. So early on in the film, unfortunately, Adam Warlock comes in and annihilates the Guardians, and basically like takes Rocket out of the game. Rocket, pretty much the whole movie up until the last act, is completely in a coma. He actually dies at one point. So, spoiler right there, Rocket does die in the movie.
But he comes back.
Yeah, so he does come back. They were able to resuscitate him. But the plot of the movie for the Guardians was literally to get this passcode for a kill switch that was put inside of Rocket. So anytime they want to basically kill Rocket, they could kill him. Anytime that he would have any kind of like medical procedure done, you would have to have this passcode to override a kill switch that was in Rocket's chest. So the whole premise of the movie was they're trying to go after this passcode that could save Rocket. And yes, eventually they do get this passcode, and they were able to resuscitate Rocket shortly after he actually dies and goes off into raccoon heaven. But there are a ton of casualties along the way. Like I said, entire planets are obliterated. The High Evolutionary, he will kill whoever he needs to kill to get his hands on Rocket. And it is just a crazy whirlwind movie.
This is like a short summary about the whole movie. So basically, to start, so he was like, Rocket was listening to music, and then he like went to go to like get a drink, and then
then Adam Warlock came in and took him out.
No,
He did too.
No, not yet. And then Star-Lord went drunk. And then
Star-Lord went drunk. Yeah, he had a little too much to drink.
And then Adam Warlock came in and destroyed basically all the Guardians, but they still lived though.
Yeah, the Guardians still lived. So the High Evolutionary, horrible bad guy. But in the end, like, he gets what's coming to him, which is pretty cool. But again, for kids, I mean, you might want to even talk to your kids ahead of time about animal cruelty and animal testing, stuff like that. Just kind of prepare them for that stuff, because kids are very impressionable, and that this movie does kind of go dark when you see these animals and stuff being killed and being tested on and just being slaughtered, basically, and like whole planets being slaughtered. And eventually we see, well, one of my problems with Adam Warlock is I think he was wasted in the movie. Basically, we see him in the beginning, then we see him one or two times in the middle of the film, just where he's kind of doing work for the High Evolutionary, who basically is like this supreme. He almost has like Kang powers, right? Where he's just like flicks his fingers, can send people flying, can control people, He can control gravity. He has like these just super amazing powers. So you can't get anywhere near him or attack him or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he can even, like, Adam Warlock can't even approach him because he can control Adam Warlock like he's a piece of paper. Unfortunately, by the end of the movie, we see Adam Warlock come full circle, and of course, by the end, he becomes a Guardian himself. So you kind of knew that when you saw the trailer and you knew Adam Warlock's going to be in the movie. That it was kind of set up like, hey, you know, he was going to have this arc where he was going to go from baddie to a team member, and yes, he does eventually, like, in the end, save one of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Should we say it?
Go ahead, man. It's a spoiler.
Star-Lord.
Yeah. Star-Lord. In the end of the film, you think Star-Lord, you think he bites the dust, you think he kind of sacrifices himself for the team. He's not going to make it. And then, of course, out of nowhere, here comes Adam Warlock to save the day and saves Star-Lord. What did you think about the ending?
It was pretty good. They none of them died. I would just say that.
That was a little bit of a letdown to me, actually. I like the ending, right? So, go ahead, but I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
So he gets to meet with his dad at the end. Like, Peter Quill gets to meet at his dad because he said he was retiring, and some people, and also the only left like Guardians of the Galaxy were Rocket. Rocket was the captain. He gave permission. Rocket being the captain, and then Nebula, and Drax are gonna build a city or a civilization.
Well, they're basically gonna stay as the leaders of Nowhere, which is like their home planet base kind of thing.
So that's a sum of the end. Basically.
So in the movie, they save pretty much all the animals and children who the High Evolutionary was creating and was experimenting on. And I did feel like, given everything I read, where basically they were giving like carte blanche to James Gunn to basically kill off any of the characters that he wanted to kill off. And in the end, really, he killed off none of them. Which, okay, you leave the door open for all these characters to appear in future, I guess Avengers films, Kang Dynasty. But at the same time, it felt like a little bit of a letdown because you did think there was going to be some tragedy and some loss in terms of the team. Now, the team did split up because Peter felt like he had to go back and spend time with his family on Earth, his remaining family, and get to know them. Then Mantis, she felt like she was always either under the control of Ego and doing what he wanted, or she was doing what the Guardians wanted, and she really just kind of needed to get off on her own and do her own thing. So she kind of took off, and then Drax, we knew from his backstory that he was a father, and then obviously one of his passions for doing what he does is basically to avenge his daughter. Well, by the end of the film, he gets to be the father for all these children that he saves, and that's a cool way for him to kind of end. And yeah, he stays on planet with Nebula to kind of run Nowhere. Then go ahead, what's up? You're nudging me.
Question.
Yeah, what's the question?
So if Star-Lord didn't go drunk, could he have stopped or prevented Adam?
No way Star-Lord stopped Adam Warlock. Sorry, they couldn't even hold him down.
Second, this is a question for you. I already answered, but was the ending worthy of the movie series?
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm talking about now. But yes, it was a good ending. I my only problem with the ending was that I was thinking some of the Guardians would die, and they don't.
And
then Gamora. Okay, so let me get into Gamora real quick. Gamora, that actually shocked me. So when you see the movie, Gamora, you think the whole time she's going to end up with Peter and there's going to be this happy ending, because the movie's kind of building on that. Peter's trying to get her to sort of fall in love with him again, and you sort of think that's kind of happening, but then in the end, she's just like, all right, cool working with you, peace out. And she goes back with the Ravagers, and it kind of shows that, okay, they're her family now, but then they also sort of built up that she was a member of the team of the Guardians, so that ending was a little bit weird. So she just kind of takes off again. She's like, nice to help you, peace, see ya. So the team breaks up and goes their separate ways. That's sort of the emotional arc of the movie. It is definitely powerful. It's nice the way James Gunn did it. And in the post-credit scenes, we definitely know at least one of the characters will be back, because it literally says, hey, this character's going to return. And go ahead, PJ. Most people probably already know which one's going to be.
Star-Lord.
Yes. The post-credit scene says, the legendary Star-Lord will return. Doesn't say anything about the other Guardians. Now, based on what we know, Dave Bautista said he's done with Drax, so I doubt we ever see Drax in another movie. I already knew that Chris Pratt loves playing Star-Lord, so figured he would be back. I think we're done with Gamora, because she kind of said that she was done with that character as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I hope we see Mantis again. I like Mantis. I think we will.
Question. How
Another
do you
question?
feel about some adult language being used in the film?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so we actually get our first Marvel F-bomb in the movie, which is interesting. I mean, I'm not naive. I know my kids have heard worse in school.
Yes.
Be realistic. Your friends in school probably have used the F word, right? Be honest. Come on. You don't have to name names, but someone in your class has probably said it.
Once.
Okay. All right. Well, you've heard the word before, I'm sure.
Yes,
I could.
have.
Yeah. I'm not saying you probably have heard it from me a couple times.
Yeah.
Even though I'm
you
trying to
have.
be pretty good with it. Dude, okay, so my problem, I think I'm going to do a video on this because what really made me upset, okay, we're going into a Marvel movie that's PG-13, all right? So you expect the trailers in the movie to be on that level, like the PG-13 level or below. You figure we're going to get trailers. Going in, we got a trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Figure we're going to get that. We actually did not get a Marvel movie trailer. I thought we were going to get like the Marvels or something, but we did not. We actually did not get any Marvel movie or Disney movie trailers. But I think we got 3 red band trailers, like hard rated R, freaking red band trailers in front of Guardians of the Galaxy. So, I mean, the one I loved, it was like the Equalizer red band trailer.
What was that like game thing like?
Yeah, then I forget the name of
It was,
that
like,
movie, the Blackening or something like that.
Yeah, the Blackening.
Yeah, and so we got a red band trailer for that, that was more awkward than any kind of bad language in Guardians of the Galaxy. So I don't know why, knowing that there's a large kid audience for Guardians of the Galaxy and these Marvel movies, why they're showing red band trailers in front of that. I mean, I didn't do more research. I don't know who picks out the trailers, if it's the studio that does it or if it's the movie theater chain, but there needs to be more thought into what trailers they're playing before movies, because we've had like a lot of red band horror movie trailers in front of PG-13 movies and stuff, and like movies that are well above PJ's age range. So we might even like start skipping the trailers like when PJ goes. Charlotte can handle it, but yeah, a little awkward.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that if you are watching this, that you have seen Guardians and you've enjoyed the film, because I think it's definitely worth seeing in theaters. The soundtrack is awesome. In one of the main fight scenes, we get a Beastie Boys song, and it's probably like the best fight scene in the movie, where they're going through the hallway, kind of towards the end. That was probably one of the better fight scenes in the Marvel, any of the phases, any of the movies. That was a really cool fight scene, where you just had, the Guardians going up against all the bad guys and just wiping them out. It was sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet revenge. There are 2 post-credit scenes in the movie. The second one is kind of a goofy one and has the Easter egg for the one for the Christmas special, the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which PJ and I picked up on. And if you see it, it basically has to do with Kevin Bacon. So keep an eye on that one. But the second post-credit scene, if you have to go to the bathroom really bad, you can get up and leave. It's the last thing that shows, and it's just kind of one of those goofy post-credit scenes that doesn't set up anything for Marvel. Now
it kind of does, because only with the last...
Okay, in the very end, it says the legendary Star-Lord will return, and the second post-credit scene is Star-Lord reunited with his family back on Earth, and just something goofy happens in there, but it's not anything that sets up the future of Marvel movies. And the first post-credit scene,
I forgot.
The first post-credit scene, that was the new Guardians on the planet. And that, it doesn't really set up, I mean, it basically says like, okay, here's your new Guardians team, which now is led by Rocket and Groot. And then you have...
Groot's really big.
Yeah, Groot is just getting bigger by the day. Actually, one of the funny things, I was dying. I don't know what, it wasn't supposed to be that funny, but early on in the movie, Groot basically, when he gets annihilated by Adam Warlock, he gets his head pretty much like knocked off. Like he gets
Yeah.
decapitated, and he's running around with his just like head. He looks like a little spider head. He almost looks like what's it from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Kang? No. Yeah, well it's Kang, but like in his little like robot like spider thing. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
With his decapitated head running around. And the Mohawk dude, I forget his name. What's the Mohawk? I forget the guy's name. That sucks. I just saw the movie today. But yeah, we'll call him Mohawk dude.
Mohawk dude, I think,
then,
like he had a red arrow that like.
Yeah, the whistling arrow guy. It's like your new Guardians team, basically, and it shows them like, all right, doing their Guardians thing, which is kind of cool. So, the post-credit scenes, if you have to go to the bathroom, you're not going to miss anything that crazy. So just go. It's not anything that's going to set up the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Quick question from Outdoor Eagle.
Yep.
Are you excited to see Indiana Jones, the movie?
Ooh.
The new movie.
Heck yeah. Like, so we got what I think was a new trailer, because I think there was some new footage in that trailer for Indiana Jones in front of our movie, and Charlotte and I are super stoked for it. Early on, I wasn't stoked for this Dial of Destiny movie. Now I'm pretty stoked for it. It looks good. So, it's probably one of the more anticipated movies I'm looking forward to later this year. Still trying to get PJ. Like, you haven't even seen Indiana Jones. What did you think of the trailer?
Pretty good.
I mean, did it make you want to see Indiana Jones?
A tiny bit.
Tiny bit. Okay. Your thing, I think you're kind of freaked out because Charlotte said Indiana Jones was spooky in a way, right? Is that what's holding you back from watching Indiana Jones?
Not that really.
No.
No.
I don't know. I think you'd like Indiana Jones, man. There's some good action scenes in there. It seems like right up your alley. But I'm not going to force you. But yes, we are excited for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, for sure. Now, in terms of Marvel movies, again, this by far is my favorite Marvel movie in Phase 4 besides No Way Home. That being said, like, coming up, we've got the Marvels, and to me, that trailer looked like garbage, man. Like, I'm sorry. I hope that we get a better trailer. You haven't seen the Marvel trailer? Yeah. To me, that movie looks like a hot mess. And, I don't know. I'm hoping it's good, so I'm not looking forward to that. Secret Invasion, the trailers look good for that. And we'll see Samuel L. Jackson coming back. So, yeah. I'm not excited about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the next movie that I'm looking forward to is going to be Deadpool 3, which I think is going to be really cool, introducing Deadpool into the Marvel Universe. But I really think we got to get to the Fantastic Four and we got to get to the X-Men. I think we're kind of in this stage where we've played through with all the Avengers, and a lot of people are just kind of oversaturated with the Avengers stuff. Like the shows. I know we're going to get Loki Season 2. I did enjoy Loki Season 1. But I think a lot of people are just kind of ready for Fantastic Four and X-Men. And like, let's get to it. Come on. Like, bring it on, Marvel. Get to it. What else do we have coming in the pipeline for Marvel? We've got the Secret Invasion. We've got Loki Season 2. We've got... Yeah. Deadpool 3. Fantastic Four, I'm afraid, is going to get delayed because of the writer's strike, which sucks. And then we've got the Kang. Who knows what happens with Kang and Jonathan Majors? That's a sticky situation right now. Because, I mean, that dude's got some serious charges coming up against him. And, I don't know, is he going to get replaced? I don't know. Who knows? But, yeah. Any other questions?
One more.
Sure. I love questions. Questions make my job easy because I don't have to think about what to talk about.
To be honest, Marvel Universe this year on out doesn't excite me. I also want I also can't wait for Deadpool 3. Has PJ seen the Deadpool tonight?
No. PJ has not seen Deadpool. Neither of my kids have seen Deadpool. I was actually trying to find on Disney Plus to see if they had the PG-13, because they did like the PG-13 version of Deadpool, but I could not find it, so I don't think that's on Disney Plus yet, and I didn't buy it. But yeah, I think the kids are not going to be quite old enough to enjoy Deadpool just yet. I'm not like that parent that's okay with their younger kids watching rated R films. PJ, I'm letting him go up to watch the PG-13 stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, I guess Marvel, because Sony I guess is producing the Spider-Verse films, and I know during CinemaCon they basically said it was the Kraven the Hunter movie, who you don't know, but that's one of the Spider-Man villains. They're making a movie that's going to be rated R. So that's going to be interesting with parents and whether they're going to let their kids go and see these Marvel rated R movies. Because, yeah, like I would like the kids to see them, and I'm sure you'll probably need to see them for future Marvel pictures. But then at the same time, you're like, oh, it's a rated R movie with lots of decapitation, blood, guts, gore, cursing, sex, nudity, like all that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. You're like, ooh, yeah. And I don't think I'm ready to show the kids that just yet.
No.
And then Jacob Jones, happy Star Wars Day. Dude, yeah, we wished everyone a happy 4th. May the 4th be with you all. And then tomorrow
I already asked.
is Revenge of the 5th.
And don't forget about National Prayer Day.
National Prayer Day?
Yeah, don't.
That's tomorrow?
That's today.
National Prayer Day. I don't think I've heard of National Prayer Day. That's today.
Yeah, this is today. You've never heard of National Prayer Day?
No, I'm sorry. I don't think I've heard of National Prayer Day. I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but no. Well, we will have to say our prayers this evening. I mean, that we usually go and we do prayers every day, but no, that's funny. I guess they played that up at school today, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, may the 4th be with you all. But you guys are seriously, I hope you all enjoy, as much as we did, Guardians of the Galaxy. For as much as I was hoping the movie was going to be good, but I really wasn't looking forward to it, I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed the movie. It was a fun movie. It really felt like it got back to the Marvel roots. I'm sad that James Gunn is basically done with this franchise. Maybe with the success of the Guardians movies, I'm going to be more excited about the future of the DC universe, since he's doing the Superman reboot, which the Superman Legacy, from what I read today that he actually got in the script before the writer's strike, so they're going to move forward with production of the Superman Legacy movie, or as much as they can do.
What is the writer's strike?
The writer's strike?
Yeah.
So basically all the screenwriters, the Hollywood screenwriters and TV screenwriters, they went on strike. I guess it's been 2 days now. So they're the ones that write all the scripts for the movies.
Yeah,
and
what do you mean a strike?
So they aren't working. They want more money. So no scripts are being written right now. Any kind of production work is kind of being halted because you have screenwriters that work on movies, because as a movie's in production, there are constant rewrites and stuff that take place. There are constantly writers on staff that are doing updates to the script. Sometimes entire acts of movies change during the course of production. So any kind of movies or anything that are in production are just going to get shut down because they don't have writers, and they really can't proceed with production without screenwriters. And no one's going to be writing movies. No one's going to be selling scripts.
Okay.
So a lot of TV shows and stuff are already shut down. Like all your late night talk shows and daytime talk shows and stuff are already kind of getting, put in reruns because there's no writers. And right now there doesn't seem to be any
does
insight.
FX or who have the Deadpool PG-13 version?
Who has it? FX?
Does FX or Hulu have?
I don't know. I'll have to check. Yeah, I don't know. There might be, obviously if there's a made-for-TV version, I'll have to look and see. Maybe I can record it or something. But I do know that version exists. It's like Deadpool Christmas or something like that. Once Upon a Deadpool, and it's something to do with Christmas, I remember. I think Fred Savage was in it, which is really random. But PJ, overall, after the movie was over, you told me that you thought it was the best Phase 4 movie. At least you thought so, right?
Except for No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah, I don't think anything's beating No Way Home. Unfortunately, not in Phase 4. And Guardians doesn't touch No Way Home. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching us tonight. You know, we just kind of wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about Guardians. And hopefully we didn't spoil it for you if you didn't want to get spoiled. We gave you fair warning. And really hope that you go out this weekend and see Guardians. And see it in a big theater. Because I got to say, like, the CGI in the film, good CGI, good action scenes. Go see it on a big screen. Definitely worth seeing it in the theater. The theater experience is awesome. If we're going to break down the facts, let's see. Let's break down the facts really quick, right? So, fun factor. 1 out of 10. What are you giving it? In terms of fun factor. How much fun was the movie? 8. I'm going to go 8.5 in terms of fun factor. A for acting. How do you think the acting was in the movie?
8.5.
What?
8.5.
8.5. I'm going to say the acting was 7. 7 out of 10, which is a good score. You know, I don't think anyone's going to win an Oscar for this movie. Cinematography. Directing, like how well was the movie shot? Was there cool scenes? Cool.
That's like a 7.5.
7.5? I would say, yeah, it's not going to win any awards for Best Director. James Gunn did an awesome job. Cinematography was cool. There was definitely some cool shots. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for cinematography. Theater-worthy score. Do you need to go to the theater to see it?
9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going theater score, easily 9 out of 10. It's going to be up there with John Wick Chapter 4 for me. You need to go see it. The action scenes alone are tremendous, especially the ones towards the end, the hallway fight scene, and even the beginning fight scene on Nowhere. Really good fight scenes. And special effects, like traditional Marvel good special effects, for sure. And then finally, overall score on the movie, Peach.
If I averaged out like all my scores, it would probably be like an 8.
An 8 out of 10? I'm going to go... I was pleasantly surprised. I'm going to say 8.5 out of 10 overall for Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a pleasure of a movie. I was definitely surprised that I liked it so much, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for being along on this ride with us. We are so grateful again. I know we touched on it earlier. Reaching the 1,000 milestone was awesome. Definitely did not expect to get to 1,000 that quick. And hey, we love doing this, and we hope that you stay along for the ride because, you know, we're not going anywhere. We love doing this, and we're just doing it for fun. And thank you so much. And if you want to share the channel with your friends, that would be cool. We'll have more screening room reviews in the future. I'll actually do an official review for the movie. I'll try to get that out tomorrow, my non-spoiler review for it. But you heard it here first. I love the movie, so it's going to be a positive review. But anyway, thank you so much again. You guys are awesome. We love you all. Thanks for being part of our family. And until next time, aloha. Peace out, everybody.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.